Hey everyone, how you guys all doing? I feel like I need to give you guys energy no matter what the topic is. So let's do that again. Hey guys, how you guys all doing today? And welcome back to another video. So in today's video, as you guys can already tell from the title, we're going to be talking about something I like to call God's plan. And today's title is actually very intriguing and interesting because I feel like I'm going to be bearing my soul to you guys. I'm going to be telling you guys things that nobody else knows. Literally just my family members and few physical close friends that know about this. But it's a story time, not story time. But it's something I always told myself that I would come and talk about after I get married. So even if me and Casey haven't done the white, we haven't done the trad yet, but we're legally married at this point. So we can talk about it. And I don't know if it's obvious that you guys can see I'm still cringing inside talking about it, because I know that there's going to be some emotions that are going to rise up in this video. But for what it's worth, I want, even if it's just one person that is going to learn from this, I want that person to learn from it. So anyways, at the age of 21, I met this young man and we got talking. We met through a mutual friend and we started talking. Eventually we started dating and it was a very good relationship. We fell in love with each other. People would say he loved me more. And I even had friends saying that, oh, Ndase, I know if this relationship breaks up, it's going to be because of you, because he's a kind, nice person. He's always doting on you. He's always checking up on you. He's always at your beck and call. He's always worshipping the ground you walk on and everything. People felt like he adored me, so nothing could ever go wrong with that relationship. And not like I took it for granted. I loved him too, and I did try to show it in the best possible way. But I don't know if you guys have already noticed, when I do videos with Casey, I'm really not that kind of person. Like, I don't express love in the typical way. Like, I'm not your typical kind of girlfriend like that. But if I love you, best believe you know I love you. So we got talking and eventually one thing led to another, and he proposed to me. He put a ring on my finger. Obviously not this one, but he proposed to me. He put a ring on my finger and we were supposed to get married. At the time I was writing my ICANN. ICANN is the Nigerian exams that you write when you want to become a chartered accountant. So I was writing that at the time, and alongside it we were planning for our introduction and our marriage. We had already made a budget for it, started saving up for it, picked a date and everything. I had met his parents. He was, because we both lived in Abuja at the time, and we had a family house in Abuja at the time as well. So he would, like, my parents knew him. He became part of the family. Literally, he became like a son to my mom. And I've always told you guys already know, I've always said it so many times on this channel, that my parents are not the typical Nigerian parents. Like, they don't behave like those Nigerian parents, and in a positive way. Like, it's something I'm really proud of and I really like. So they took him in as like a son. He was free to come to our house at any time. Anytime we're going for family celebrations, like if we're going to maybe my dad's birthday or something, my mom will always be like, oh, invite him along. Like, she made sure to bring him close. It was like we were all dating him at the same time. So he was part of the family. Fast forward to when I was supposed to write my final exams for ICANN, that's the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. And we planned for our introduction. So my mom traveled to the south, because we're from the southern part of Nigeria. My mom traveled to the south. She bought a lot of food stuff. She flew, bought leaves, meat, oil. She bought everything. She flew back, and the introduction was supposed to be on. If you don't know about Nigerian introductions are where the parents officially meet each other, the families officially meet each other and express interest of both families coming together in marriage. They bring, the man's family will bring wine, yams, goats, to bring items anyways, and talk to the girl's family and let his intentions be known. So our introduction was supposed to be on Saturday. And my final paper for ICANN was supposed to be on Friday. So my mom flew on Wednesday, came back on Thursday, started cooking, making all the preparation. My mom loves to cook. Making all the preparation and everything. And the next day after my exam, I just noticed that there's no preparation anymore. Like, what's going on? What's happening here? Like, everywhere was so quiet, which is very, very odd for my mom. The first day my husband Kingsley came to visit my mom. My mom cooked like a 10-course meal just the first day he was coming. So you can imagine an introduction, the kind of fanfare I had expected to be happening in the house. And there was nothing. Apparently everybody was waiting for me to finish writing my exams on Friday before telling me that his parents had called earlier to say they were not going to come anymore. So anyways, I didn't take it as anything. I just thought like, okay, it's a minor hitch and they'll come around. What was their excuse? So in my house, I said we're not typical. My parents are not the typical Nigerians. I'll say you must go to a certain church. No, everybody does what anybody wants to do in my house. We're free, but we're disciplined and respectful. So my parents watch a certain church I don't want to name that is kind of controversial in Nigeria, or at the time that's what they watched it on TV. And because this ex-fiance of mine used to come to our house a lot, we all used to watch it together. Somehow, somewhere along the line, his mother got to find out that he was joining us to watch this controversial church and deemed that my family was evil, we were of the devil, that we were following a church that was practicing voodoo and magic and charm. Bear in mind, this is a church that preaches in Jesus' name. And then the mother got cold feet and said that her son cannot marry into our family anymore. And that the fact that he's even joining us to watch the church means that my mother has control over him. Bear in mind, this guy is an only child. At the moment, there were two, but he lost his sister. May her soul rest in peace. And that my mom has control over him. That is it because we are wealthy, because we are rich, that want to steal her son from her. And none of these things were so foreign to me. I couldn't believe my ears. Like, I was like, what? Where is this coming from? This was someone that I never used to call. And I'm not even saying that with pride. I really struggled building relationships with older people growing up, because I always saw them as older. So I didn't really call her all the time. I didn't want to be a bother. She would always call me. I remember one time my sister was like, Ndatse, I hope you call her, because she calls you more than you call her. So at least try from time to time to call her. Sorry. So this was someone that like built that relationship with me. She would always call me. She would always talk to me. She would always ask after me, send gifts to me and everything. She would always want to see me. And she suddenly changed 360 degrees. She was also the breadwinner of their family. So the father didn't really have much of a say. I'm not saying that when a woman is the breadwinner, the father shouldn't have a say, but that was how their family was. The father didn't really have a say. So we decided that we're going to forge ahead. We're still going to go and get married, despite what she says, what she doesn't say. That even if she's there, she's not there, we're going to go and get married. We told my parents. My parents were like, that they'll find it very hard supporting a marriage where his parents are not around, because it would be like they are sowing seeds of discord in the home, that we should just wait and pray until she comes around. Guys, I prayed, I fasted. Look at me now. I was a size 6. I fasted for 6 months straight. You know, the most painful part of this story is I told you we met through a mutual friend, so I'm going to come to that. Anyways, so fast forward 6 months down the line, we struggle so much. His mom is telling him so many different things, and he's telling me that he can't choose between his mom and me, that he doesn't want to end up choosing me, and then I'll end up having a bad marriage because of mother-in-law drama and everything. And I just looked at him like I was just so clueless. I couldn't understand what he was saying. Like, imagine 22-year-old me. I'm just like, what is this guy saying? I'm expecting you to choose me, to stand by me. You are the one. Even when the whole drama started happening, my mom advised me to just call it off. I called it off and he said, no way. He called everybody to beg me that he cannot do without me, that we have to make it work, that he can't live without me. I came back to him. He said, even if it's to run away, to elope, to do court, we're going to do it and everything. And suddenly you're telling me that you can't choose your mother. You can't choose me over your mother. Okay, fine. That's okay. I don't even want to be a choice between a man and his mother, to be honest. So fast forward down the line, my parents said I should fly to Dubai for a vacation and just like clear my head and everything. So I went. I came back. On that flight, I can never forget the whole 7 hours from Dubai to Abuja. I was in tears. I cried the whole trip. waiting for me to come back, and then like I'm just lying down on my bed and we're talking, we're chatting, and then he starts giving me the whole "it's not me, it's you" line. I don't want you to suffer. My mother is dramatic. I don't want to have to choose between you and my mother and everything. And I'm just like, where is this going? So I now realize in my head that I think this guy is trying to break up with me. But after 2 years of dating this guy and being like my real first love, I felt like he owed me more than breaking up with me over text, because we were engaged. He was my fiance. So I told him, just pause what you're saying. This was around like 10 in the night. I walk out of my house in my pajamas and bathroom slippers, enter the next taxi, and I arrive at his house and say, please, what were you telling me on the phone? And then he starts to tell me this pity story, and I'm like, please just get to the point. What are you saying? And he's like, he thinks we should end the relationship. I can never forget, like, as I'm telling you people this story now, I'm replaying it as it happened in my head. I can remember sitting on his mattress in the corner of his new house he had just got. I remember everything. Listen, we got that new house together. We paid for it together. We furnished it together. I remember the details. So I stood up and I was like, okay, fine, I've heard what you have to say. Please take me home. And he's like, is that all you're going to say? I'm like, yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Please take me home. And he's like, no, he's going to call me a taxi. For the first time in my life, that's the first time he will say that to me. So I realized that he probably didn't want to have to deal with the guilt of driving me all the way home in an awkward silence. But I insist he drops me at home. As he dropped me at home, I entered inside the house, and our security person, Marcos, saw that something was wrong with me. He's like, auntie, what's wrong with you? And I told him, I said, you just broke up with me. And I started crying. So I went upstairs to my bed. I didn't want to tell anybody what had happened, because I was just hoping that maybe he would wake up in the morning and realize that he had made a mistake and we would come back together. That was my hope and my prayer. So I didn't want to tell my parents or my siblings, so that it won't be like he then says, I've made a mistake, I'm sorry, forgive me, and then I have to go back and tell them that, oh, but he's begging me now. So I was giving him the benefit of a doubt, or will I say the benefit of a rethink. Clueless, foolish me. God. So I woke up the next day, nothing. Meanwhile, bear in mind that I drenched my pillow in tears that night. I cried. I would wake up every hour and check my phone for a text message from him telling me that he regrets what he just said and I should please give him another chance. That message never came. The most painful part of this whole story is the mutual friend I met him through. I went to that mutual friend's house the first thing the next morning when I woke up to help me beg him, and this guy pinned me down and tried to rape me. I was so pained. I was so heartbroken. Like, anyways, so my mom notices that something is wrong with me, and she's asking me questions. Oh, where is he? I haven't seen him around. He was a daily visitor to our house. I haven't seen him around in the last 2 days. What happened? Are you guys fighting? I feel like she sensed that something was wrong. And I was like, no, nothing happened. I was still giving him a chance to come back to me. So eventually she's just like, okay, tell him to come to the house. I want to see him. I'm like, at that point I knew that she knew. So I just told her, I was like, he said he's not interested anymore, that we should go our separate ways. She said, he said it or you said it? I said, he said it. She said, okay, tell him to come to the house. I said, Mommy, I'm not going to tell him to come to the house. I don't want him to feel as if people are calling him to the house to beg him, because that's not going to happen. Despite my heartbreak, I still have some respect for myself, and I still have some pride. You guys, when I'm telling you that I became a walking tear bag, a walking bag of tears, I'm not even kidding. I would sit down in the taxi to go to work and I would just start crying. I would wake up crying. I would sleep crying. So my parents invited him to the house, offered him dinner. For the first time, he said he wasn't going to eat dinner, that he was okay, he was filled up. So my dad told him, well, I would still take you as a son. If I see you walking on the street tomorrow and I'm driving, I would still give you a lift. There's no love lost, there's no hard feelings. It's okay. It's better a broken relationship than a broken home. I said I became from a size 14, I became a size 6. Thankfully, I passed my exams. I became a chartered accountant. I got a job in Lagos, another city in Nigeria, and I moved to Lagos for 1 month because I couldn't handle Lagos madness. I remember staying in my cousin's house in Lagos, and every night I would soak my pillow, every single night. There There was a particular night that I soaked my pillow crying, and I told God, I said, I don't want to live without him in my life. I actually told God that, like, don't wake me up in the morning if I'm not going to end up married to this guy. And I would never forget that morning. I woke up and it was, I saw a vision of Jesus sitting in front of me, just comforting me, just watching over me. I would call me crazy, call me, I don't know, call me whatever. I would never forget that vision. I saw it clearly and I knew that God was with me. God was watching me. God was protecting me from something. But I still needed to heal from the pain. After a month, I had it with Lagos and I said I was going to move out of the country. So I told my dad I wanted to move to Dubai. And thank God we were able to. So I moved to Dubai, started a new life. I refused to see anybody, refused to date anybody. Every time I was coming to visit Nigeria, I would always tell him that I was coming into the country so that he would see me again and miss me and want to be with me. I don't need to drag this story too much because it's obvious I didn't end up with him. I ended up with my current husband, whom I've said so much on this channel that I am very happy with. I feel like it's my destiny to be with him. I'm so fulfilled, so happy. I feel like the luckiest woman on earth to be married to Casey. However, the purpose of telling you people this story is looking back in retrospect, in hindsight, God's plan is always better than whatever you think is best for yourself at the time. I remember crying so much that my sister is like, Ndatse, I can promise you, I can assure you that whatever is coming in the future is going to be better than what has gone in the past. Everybody's advice just sounded like cliche at the time. I remember my senior brother coming to sit by my bedside and just, listen, this was not a heartbreak I nursed alone. This was a heartbreak that my whole family nursed. I told you that he became a family member. We took him as part of the family. He was a brother to my brothers, and he was a brother to my sister. He was a son to my parents. He was part of the family. It took me 2 years to get over him. The only person I would say I really allowed myself to fall in love with was Casey. And one of the reasons why we fought, we'll probably give that story on my channel, was I was not ready to face that kind of trauma again. I was not ready to open my heart. When I say Casey has done a lot, Casey has been persistent. Even times where I tell Casey, I don't want to see you, Casey would drive 12 hours every month to come and visit me, even if I'm not going to see him. Casey flew 14 hours from Nigeria to Dubai, even when I told him not to come, because I had told him I was breaking up with him. I'm starting to shake telling this story, but I need you people to understand that God's plan is the best plan for your life. It doesn't matter what you're going through. It doesn't matter what's happening to you at the time. It doesn't matter what is happening in your life. It doesn't matter how it looks like. Just know that God has got you. So many times, every single day I wake up, or not every single day I wake up, I'm not going to give him that much credit. Excuse me. Or not every single day I wake up, but I'm not going to give him that much credit. But every time I remember him, I thank God that it ended. I just want to leave you guys with these thoughts. Remember that God's plan is the best plan. Don't cry too much over a situation. Don't cry too much over a person. Yes, put in the effort to make things work, but if they don't work in your own power, let go and let God. I hope this video helps somebody. I hope somebody watches this video and is healed from pain or heartbreak or loss or grief. I hope you never meet somebody that makes you cry and tell God to take your life at night. I hope you never meet somebody that makes you go through so much pain that you feel like it's better to be dead than to be alive. And I hope you have people that are supportive, friends, family members, parents, that hold you up through trying times. And I hope in everything you realize that God is the ultimate and his plan is always the best. As my sister said, what is coming is always going to be better than what is lost. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.